Hey, what's up, everybody? BDL44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the Boston Celtics really did it, man. They really paid Jaylen Brown the super duper max. Largest contract in NBA history, 5 years, $304 million. So congratulations to this family and everybody that loves them. Generational wealth is real. You got to love that the money is continuing to flow into these athletes' pockets. They earn that money, they put on the show, and this is what the earnings is for what it is that they do across the world. They make this money for the NBA. The NBA takes their cut, and this is what gets left behind for the players. And so under those pretenses, you think this is good. This is really good for everybody. The Boston Celtics investing in Jaylen Brown, I've been a huge opponent of them paying him this amount. I didn't even know this was the amount on the table, but I knew it was crazy. I didn't know it was this crazy. I was against it only because I felt like he was going to be eating too much of the cap for them to actually build a champion. I still feel that way. He's going to be making $58 million to start the contract, I believe, the first year. And then on the fifth year, he's going to be making $69 million. I just know better, man. It's hard to build a team that way, But if they're going to make it so that it's not over the course of these next 5 years, then maybe it can make sense after all. It's a 5-year deal, and the collective bargaining agreement is currently in place only for 2 years or 3 years, I think it is. So based on his age, a 5-year commitment for Jaylen Brown is standard. It's what you want if you're the Boston Celtics. You drafted him, developed him, and he's 25. So at the end of that contract, you expect he'll still be very much in his prime. At 30, all you're going to really want is to re-sign him. So from that standpoint, it makes sense. And you expect that, it'll be a situation where you could probably actually move the contract if you have to. It's not immovable, even though it's the biggest contract ever, only till the next guy signs it. Jason Tatum will likely sign that deal. Luka likely sign that deal. All the usual suspects, the big names, you'd expect to sign a deal like that next time they become free. So it should balance itself out. I still don't think y'all should pay that much to a shooting guard in general, unless they Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade. I just don't think Jaylen Brown is of that level. I really don't. I think he's a good player, but he has some glaring weaknesses that often are showcased based on the fact that he's not that great dribbling the ball. But overall, the team success and the consistency of them getting to a high level will make you think that investing in him at this age only makes the most sense. When you consider all that we said about how you expect the contract to not be as crazy right now as it's, or later as it is right now, based on other guys who are going to sign that contract. So you take that into account, you set that aside, you take the age, you set that aside, and then you realize that, you just want to keep a good team going. And so that makes sense. You got their age locked into the years as a plus. But for me, I just know better than to have Mazzulla's system that's meant to shoot threes and then have the highest paid guy who doesn't really shoot the three like that. It just doesn't make much sense to me building that way based on what they're doing. But again, same way to look at that. It's a 5-year deal. Mazzulla, if it doesn't work out, he'll be gone before the end. You'll have a whole new system in place. That contract will still be on tab and the player will still be in your uniform. So for Celtics fans, I think I listened to a Celtics podcast this morning, and they were essentially happy about it. Now it's just about they're happy putting all this behind them. It's been a long road trying to get Jaylen Brown to basically be a long-term commitment. And they just ready to go forward in their championship hunt now. They don't have anything distracting them from it. I think the problem they're going to run into this particular year and then going forward thereafter is they did not replace the defensive presence of Grant Williams and, of course, Marcus Smart in the offseason. They brought themselves a defensive player in Porzingis who's going to block shots, but it's an entirely different thing. They're going to be able to swat everything, but they're not going to be able to track everybody as well as they used to. Their defensive foot speed is not going to be what it used to be. So Jaylen Brown's going to be taking on even more defensive assignments because of it, and he's a superstar who's going to get that kind of money. So he's going to have to take on that role and then play at a high level. I think the excuses are over. I think I second the Celtics podcast that I listen to, and I say It ain't no more talking no more for the Celtics. Every year they don't win the championship is an absolute failure. Every year they're not hoisting a banner is a testimony to this decision being the wrong one for them, in my humble opinion. You just don't pay this much to a shooting guard who's not named Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, or Dwayne Wade. You just don't do it. I don't care if he's due that money or not. You find a way to get him the hell off your books so you don't have to deal with that. And they don't have to. And so if he don't develop into that level of player, then they're just going to be stuck with a contract that I don't think is going to be very good at all. And so regardless of how it explodes or expands, that really is, in terms of the overall market, who else is getting that contract. I still don't think Jalen is the piece you give that contract. I don't believe that. Especially when you got to turn around and pay Jason Tatum probably even more than that. But all in all, it's a 5-year deal. They remain in control of that contract. There's no player option or nothing like that. No trade clause, which is a huge deal for that contract. Yeah, there's a trade kicker on there. I don't know how much it is, but it's going to be very substantial. If for some reason they do trade Jalen, he's going to get paid. So it's a lot of good to like about that contract on both sides. I just don't personally assess the player being that. And I don't think most people do. So that's what it really comes down to. It would have been nice if they could have got a haircut, but they did not. And it's going to be on him and Jason Tatum to get a championship. No excuses. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't care that Marcus Smart is gone. I don't care that Grant Williams is gone. I don't care that your coach is in Houston now. I don't care about none of that. I don't care that you got to shoot 53s a game. I don't care about anything in regards to the Boston Celtics. They have to win the championship every year. Eastern Conference Finals is run of the mill. NBA Finals, you've already been there. You didn't get it. You got to get it. That's it. And so that's what it really comes down to. I'm not issuing them a challenge. Obviously, as a Laker fan, I issue them nothing. But what I do say to you is I don't want to hear it in regards to them. They've paid Jaylen Brown. They're going to pay Jason Tatum. They made all kinds of moves to ensure that they could do that. And maybe their team's not good enough, and it doesn't matter because they got the highest contract in the history of the sport on tab. And they're going to pay somebody else that same amount. And so that's a championship. If you're not spending your money to do that in this league, you look like a fool. And that's just what it is. So I hope they know what they're doing. Actually, I hope they don't, to be honest with you. As a Laker fan, I hope they don't. I hope they fail. But nevertheless, it's a great day for Jaylen Brown's family. It's bigger than the NBA Celtics organization. This is an NBA player who's getting the big money, and you definitely love that for him. And I wish there was a way we could talk about this without saying guys don't deserve money. You know, I was thinking of, is there a way we can kind of communicate what portion of the cap guys are taking rather than just the dollar amount and how we feel they shouldn't get a dollar amount? Because it changes the conversation when you look at it the way it's supposed to be verbalized, which is he's eating too much of the cap. He's got too many cases. Everybody else can't eat. I don't know. But the point is that's kind of how that goes. So always happy to see guys get wealthy. I wish you could make 20 times that. Get really, really wealthy, because I know that's how much money's floating around out there, period. When you see the soccer dude got offered $1 billion from some team in the Middle East, I think the NBA players are going to start seeing those type of figures thrown at them as well. I think it's just a matter of time. As the game continues to expand, that's going to be the opportunities elsewhere. So, yeah, man, not upset at that. Not upset at that at all. Grow the game. But, yeah, that's pretty much my thought, man. The Celtics, they seem to be excited. Their fan base seems to be excited. Better them than us. I don't want to pay Jaylen Brown that kind of money. Ain't no way in hell. If I'm a Laker fan, I'm supporting that. Thank you, Jaylen, would be my attitude. I'm very thankful that we have players on our team that we drafted that are going to help us build our championship squad in a more affordable way. Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, those guys kind of helped us by taking lesser deals. D'Angelo Russell as well. Guys just took lesser deals to be with us. And I ultimately like our circumstance to get to the finals too. So there's more than one way to get what you want to get done. Celtics are going about it an entirely different way. Worst of luck to them. BDF 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.